Namaste. Thank you for being here. My name is Michelle Chua, and welcome to Yin and Restorative Yoga. For this practice, you'll want to have quite a few props, anything like the ones I have behind me or alternatives to that. A couple of blocks, a strap, a blanket, and a pillow or bolster. We had a request for bringing some relief to sciatic pain. So that will look like releasing tension in the lower back and the outer hips, the hamstrings. And we're going to also continue with a little more focus on bringing the hips into extension as well. Open up the hip flexors. So let's begin in a posture that allows you to do that. You may want to sit either on a folded blanket or one or two blocks stacked right beneath your ankles like this. So your knees are way in front of that prop. And if your knees are feeling sensitive to bending this much, you can stack the props even higher so you're bending the knees less, or sit a different way. And I really encourage you to please listen to your body, as everything that I'm suggesting is just that, a suggestion. And it's up to you to tune into what your body needs in the moment and discern what is most appropriate, whether it's a different variation, the same version of the pose, or something else, opting out. With that, I'd like to continue sharing from this book that I highly recommend during these times, called The Amen Effect, Ancient Wisdom to Mend Our Broken Hearts and World by Rabbi Sharon Brous. And it's such a wonderful book to address how we can build our sense of remembering our common humanity, not just with our loved ones or our close circles of friends, but extending that perception to those that look and believe and act differently from us. And it's so important in these times in which there's so much adamant polarization in thinking and expressing, especially on the media. And so here she talks about the power of curiosity. Curiosity is the birthplace of compassion. But the greater the psychological distance between us and the other, the less curious we are about one another. When we don't wonder what the other is thinking or feeling, or where the pain comes from, when we don't interrogate our presuppositions, our hearts close to one another. This leaves us less understanding of other perspectives, more entrenched in our own dogmas and narratives, and more susceptible to dangerous fringe views. A society devoid of empathy is at great risk of falling into patterns of dehumanization that have, throughout history, led to the most extreme acts of violence, including genocide. And so curiosity is such an important building block of compassion. And so we start with ourselves, as our yoga practice teaches us. All that we want to see out in the world needs to begin from within. And how we practice curiosity rather than judgment with our own selves. So let's start by honoring and observing what is present within you right now. As you sit comfortably still, you might close your eyes. Begin to observe your body from the inside out, scanning your attention from one part to another, noticing any kinds of sensations, tension, comfort, pleasure, pulsing somewhere, an expansion somewhere, anything you can notice. Sense the ways your body is communicating its needs to you right now. And how will you respond through your approach to your physical yoga practice? Begin to observe the breath without having to control or change it. What do you notice about your breathing? Is it shallow? Is it deep? Can you sense a texture to your breath? Letting all of these qualities inform you about your energy that you're working with as you begin your practice. Notice the state of your mind and heart. What's the quality of your attention right now, without judging yourself? What emotions are you detecting moving through you? And like we talked about yesterday, practice holding space for the diversity of it. And now let's begin to breathe in a little deeper. Letting it out through the mouth. Each new breath slightly deeper. I invite you to explore expanding the inhalation into further and further parts of your body, like down towards the pit of your belly, up high towards the tops of your collarbones, out to the sides and to the left and right walls of your rib cage. And way into the back ribs. And continue to explore deepening your breath. And invite you to think of something today that you feel gratitude for. Letting gratitude open our hearts and minds as we begin our practice. Then clarify what you would like to focus your attention and energy on expanding through this practice and afterwards, setting your intention or sankalpa. For example, is there a quality of energy you would like to embody, such as compassion, forgiveness, open-heartedness? Maybe there's something more specific in an area of your life right now that you are creating a shift in. And then think of those around you, near or far, the beings that you know closely and the ones you might not know so well. Is there someone you could extend loving kindness to by dedicating today's practice to them? Together, let's join our voices in support of each other, chanting the sound that celebrates our interconnectedness. Om, 3 times. Let in a deep breath. Let's move into regulating our energy to promote balance, calm, and focus through a breathing practice called Ujjayi Pranayama, which means victorious breath. So closing the lips, gently narrow the back of your throat, creating a soft whispering sound as you breathe. Listen for that sound and begin to slow the breath down equally in and out, taking your time. Try to inhale to the entirety of the breath. And listen to the exhalation as you lengthen it just as long. Listen as well to the transitions between the breaths, smoothing them out to create a sense of fluidity and ease. Nurture this slow and steady rhythm that you can listen to throughout our physical yoga postures, our asanas. Let it be a way to bridge your awareness of your body in the present moment and to regulate how you're moving the body too. So we're going to pace our movements to the breath, coming down to all fours, hands and knees. So spread your fingers flat at the top of your mat, stacking your shoulders on top of your wrists. Step your knees a couple of inches behind your hips. And let's start to move the spine slowly to the breath in cat-cow Betalasana. While you inhale, glide your chest forward, circle your shoulders back and down, lifting your chest and gaze, cow pose. While you exhale, press the ground away with the hands and contract your abdomen, dropping your head to around the back, cat pose. A few more times, inhale, roll the shoulders back, reach your heart forward and gaze up. Exhale, lift the navel towards the spine, tucking your tailbone, drop the head. And keep going, several more cycles of breath. Warming up your spine as you stretch the front and back of it. So before we hold still in supported postures of yin and restorative yoga, we're going to continue with a few more gentle movements to warm up our body and prepare to be still. At the end of your next exhalation, tuck your toes and lift your hips high, press your thighs back, entering downward facing dog. From here, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. As you exhale, bending your right knee, rotate the thigh externally, turn it out at the hip. As you breathe in, tack your left outer hip back. And as you breathe out, softly step your right foot forward beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee to the ground and tuck your left toes. Separate your legs as wide apart as your hips and plant your fingertips on blocks or the floor directly beneath your shoulders where you can relax the shoulders down and breathe well. Now let's bring some movement into the lower body. As you inhale, sink your pelvis, relax the shoulders down and look up. As you exhale, keep your feet where they are. Lift the left knee. Draw your right outer hip back towards straightening both legs to your degree. And bow as if you have a flat back, not rounding the shoulders. Then again, inhale, lower the left knee. Kneeling lunge, look up. Exhale again, lift the left knee. Draw the right hip back, reach your chest forward and bow, wide pyramid pose. Let's keep going for 3 more cycles of breath. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, wide pyramid. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, wide pyramid. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, wide pyramid. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Place your hands flat on the floor and step back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Pause for 2 deep breaths. Let your body be still as you land your eyes on one gazing point. Focus on the qualities of your breath you're nurturing. Calm, steadiness. Inhale, sweep your left leg behind you. As you exhale, bend your left knee and turn out your left thigh at the hip. Inhale, tack your right outer hip back. Exhale, softly step your left foot forward beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee, keep your right toes tucked, and separate your legs hips distance. Make sure that your front knee is not overbending in front of your ankle, but it's stacked directly above the heel. Plant your fingertips right beneath your shoulders on blocks or the floor. And as you breathe in, let your pelvis sink, stretching into your inner thighs and groins. As you gaze up, relax the shoulders down. Keep your feet where they are. And exhale, lift the right knee. Draw your left outer hip back. Reach the chest forward, and with a flat back, fold towards your straighter legs to your own degree. Inhale, lower your right knee again. Gazing up, kneeling lunge. Exhale, lift your right knee, draw the left hip back and fold, wide pyramid pose. 3 more cycles of breath. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, wide pyramid. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, wide pyramid. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, wide pyramid. Inhale to a kneeling lunge. Plant your hands on the ground. Step back to all fours. Tuck your toes and lift the hips again. Downward facing dog. Pause for 2 deep breaths. When you've emptied the second breath, walk to the front of your mat, entering a standing forward fold. Separate your feet at least hips distance apart. Go wider if you feel tightness in the backs of your legs. Parallel your second toes to each other and bend your knees generously, so much that your belly easily rests on your thighs. Take hold of opposite elbows with your hands and let your torso and head hang loose, swaying the spine side to side, nodding your head, shaking your head, relax your neck. Lifting the shoulders up, drop your skull down low. Deep breath in. Slowly let it go. Maybe switch the cross of the arms and continue to sway the spine, keeping the knees bent. The more tightness you have in the back of your body, the more you want to bend your knees so as not to strain it more. Now let the arms fall. Let them hang loose. Knees still bent. On a breath or few, slowly roll your spine upright, like you're stacking one vertebra at a time. Take your time. Lifting your head last. Let's circle the shoulders a few times. Inhale, float your shoulders forward and up. Exhale, roll your shoulders back and down. Twice more. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. All right, let's move into some half sun salutations. And if you think the ground is too low to fold all the way forward and plant your hands on, then place your blocks as high as you need, about a foot in front of your feet, shoulders width apart. And you can plant your fingertips on the blocks, or you can plant your fingertips on your legs. So feet parallel, standing tall, spread your toes, root down into the earth with your feet, and lift up tall through your legs, your spine, relaxing the shoulders down. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Let's join the hands in prayer at your heart center in Padasana and reconnect to your intention for this practice. Bringing that into a moving prayer as we flow to the breath, offering gratitude to the sun in sun salutations. Ardha Surya Namaskar, half sun salutations. So listen to your breathing. As you inhale, sweep your arms forward and overhead, roll your shoulders back, lift your heart up. As you exhale, bend your knees as much as you need so that you can bow from the hips with the feeling of a flat back. Plant your fingertips on your legs, blocks of the floor, and inhale, stretch your spine forward, parallel to the ground. Glide the shoulders back. Keep stretching the spine forward as you exhale to fold deeper towards your legs. From down to your feet, inhale, sweep your arms forward, rising all the way up. Circle the shoulders back and down and lift the chest. Exhale, gather your palms in prayer from your crown to your heart center. Now let's try that 3 more times, letting it be a movement meditation as you concentrate on the sound and flow of your breathing. Here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow forward from the hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, press with your hands and lengthen the spine forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold a little more, Uttanasana. Rooting down with your soles, inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, trace your palms in prayer down to your heart center, Padasana. Now I'm just going to cue the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Pause here. Tune into 3 slow cycles of breath and observe your mind. Observe your energy. Let's bring the hands behind your lower back and step the feet wider apart. So you might face the wide width of your mat, parallel the feet. Now, interlacing your fingers, if you can hug the heels of the palms together, try that. If it's difficult to lift the hands a distance away from the lower back, like it's not any further than a foot, let's say, then grab a strap and hold the strap between the hands as wide apart as you need so that you can get more distance, which will create a deeper stretch in the fronts of the shoulders when we bow forward. So parallel feet, inhale, circle the shoulders back and down, lift the chest. And then hinging from the hips, tilt your weight as far forward as you can balance so that you're encouraging your hips to align with your ankles so that they're not behind your ankles. Bend your knees any amount you might need so that it feels like you have a flat back. You're not rounding the back, you're not closing off the throat or rolling the shoulders forward. And then as you let your head just hang loose, you can even shake and nod it a few times to help. Float your shoulders up away from the neck while dropping the head and slightly bend your elbows. Stretch your arms away from your lower back, opening up the front of the shoulders. Now listen to your breath. This is called wide-legged forward fold or Prasarita Padottanasana. All right, from here, lower your fingertips either on blocks or the ground. Bend your knees, come up halfway, and just pause, couple of breaths. Glide the shoulder blades back, lengthen the top of the head forward. And then make the most gentle transition to lowering to sit with your legs in front of you. All right, so we're gonna get more into the lower back and the hips and backs of the legs. Let's come into a seated spinal twist. So step your right foot on the ground directly in front of your right hip. Straighten the left leg forward and flex the foot. Hold your right shin or knee with your left hand and place your right hand on the floor behind your pelvis. Press down to your sitting bones and your legs as you inhale to lift from the bottom of your spine all the way up through the back of your skull, even through your chest. Relax the shoulders down, breathe in. Now keep your legs and pelvis still. As you exhale, twist to the right side. Turn your rib cage. Pause where you are. Press down to your lower body again and inhale, lift up, stretch the spine. Keep relaxing the shoulders down. Exhale, continue to rotate your rib cage to the right. Now continue for several more breaths, and if you can keep your shoulders relaxed and hook your left elbow outside your right thigh, you can go a little further, adding leverage. Otherwise, just hold the shin or knee. And then you can explore what feels like an easeful stretch. Either look over your right shoulder or look over your left shoulder, stretching into your neck. Let your eyes relax. You can even close your eyes and listen to 4 more slow cycles of breath. With an exhalation, unwind your spine. And let's bring the sole of your right foot really high up against your inner left thigh so that possibly you can open your thighs wider than a right angle. Placing the ball of your left foot into the strap. Hold the strap in your right hand. Flex your left foot and kick it into the strap. Place the left hand on the left side of your left leg and press downward through your 2 sitting bones again as you breathe in to stretch up through the spine. Relax the shoulders. Now, exhale, twist to your left. Turn your chest to face the left side of your left leg and begin to bow just a little bit in that direction. Pause as you breathe in, press down through the pelvis. And right where you are, stretch the spine from your hips. Now, if you can keep the spine long, not round the shoulders, continue to fold diagonally in that direction with each exhale. Several more breaths. So this is a twisting version of the head to knee pose called Parita Janu Shirshasana. You might feel a stretch happening in the right side of your lower back or elsewhere. Notice where you feel this most in your body right now. And it's probably where your body needs it the most. As a way of listening to your body and acknowledging how it's speaking to you, you might visualize breathing into the parts where your body is talking the most, where you're feeling the most sensation. Last 2 deep breaths here. Pressing downward to your pelvis, lead with your chest. Inhale as you slowly rise, removing the strap. Relax your left foot and stretch the right leg forward. Let's take a moment to pause in stick pose. Place the hands alongside your hips. Sit up tall, relax the shoulders, and allow for just a few breaths to observe your body. Now keep your right leg straight and bend your left knee. Step your left foot in front of your left hip, holding the shin or knee with your right hand. Place your left hand behind your pelvis and flex your right foot. Press into the ground with your pelvis and legs. As you breathe in to stretch your spine up, relax the shoulders down. Keep the legs and pelvis still as you breathe out to twist to the left. Inhale, press downward to stretch the spine up. Exhale, continue to rotate your rib cage, breath by breath. And again, if it's available without causing any strain, especially in your shoulders, you could hook your right elbow outside of your left thigh to add leverage. Play with which direction to face in order to stretch your neck, however your body is guiding you. Last couple of breaths here. And as you breathe out, unwind your spine, drop your left knee open and bring the sole of your left foot as high against your inner right thigh as you can. See if you can create an obtuse angle between your thighs, stepping the ball of your right foot into the strap. Flex the right foot and kick it in against the strap while you hold the strap in your left hand. Place your right hand on the floor on the right side of your right leg and press downward with your two sitting bones as you lift upward, inhaling, lengthen the spine. Exhale, turn your chest to face the right side of your right leg and begin to fold in that direction from the hips. Pause as you breathe in, pressing down through the pelvis, stretch the spine. And again, if it does not cause any strain or rounding in the back, continue to fold with each exhalation. Otherwise, we can keep the longest, lengthen the spine. Where is your body calling your attention that you might visualize breathing into? Practicing holding space for the variety of sensations arising in you. Where can you bring a sense of curiosity? As a gateway to compassion, self-compassion. Last couple of breaths here. Pressing down to your pelvis, inhale. Lead with your chest to slowly rise, removing the strap. Stretch both legs forward and pause in Dandasana, stick pose. Are there any questions arising that you might ask yourself or your body here right now in light of building curiosity over judgment? From here, let's place 2 blocks off to the side near the rear of your mat. And come on down to your back. Bend your knees, take hold of your knees, and allow a few breaths to explore rotating your thighs at your hips in different directions. Just moving organically to bring a little more lubrication into the joints of your hips. Let's step the left foot down as you flex your right foot. Turn out your right thigh at the hip and cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh like a figure four. As you keep the left foot on the ground, press your right palm near the crease of your right hip onto your right thigh, gently splaying the right thigh open as you ground the back of your left hip and your shoulders. Now keep flexing your right foot entirely during this pose so that you're engaging the muscles surrounding the right knee, keeping the knee in safe alignment. Notice the sensations you're feeling, especially around your right hip. If you're not detecting much happening, then you could add on by lifting your left foot and threading your right hand between your legs. Both hands holding your left thigh or shin. Gradually bring the left leg towards you as you splay your right thigh open and relax your head and shoulders down. You could even put a pillow under your head if you need. Keep flexing your right foot. For those of you that might see that your right calf is right in front of your chest, like it's just another 1 or 3 inches in front of your chest, you could go a step further if you're needing it by cradling the sole of your right foot and your right knee between the crooks of your elbows, like you're holding a baby, and straightening the left leg flat on the ground. Remember, going deeper is not always better. Notice what your body is communicating to you. What does it need? What version of this posture? And be honest with yourself as you choose. If you are in this supine single pigeon version, tack your right outer hip crease forward so as to lengthen the right side of your torso, drawing the right sitting bone towards your inner left heel. Now let's tune in for the last 3 to 5 breaths in whatever version of this hip opening posture you're in. From here, slide your right leg straight on the floor, left leg straight on the floor, and reach your arms overhead for a long body stretch. You could circle out your feet, point your toes, just releasing them from flexing. Then bending both knees, step your right foot on the ground. Let's switch to the second side. Take it step by step, no rush. Flex your left foot, turn out your left thigh at the hip. Cross your left ankle on your right thigh and pause. Place your left hand on the crease of your left hip, pressing the left thigh to gently splay open, while grounding the back of your right hip and your shoulders. Pause and observe what's happening. What are you feeling along the left side of your hips? Do you need to stay here in this version or turn it up a notch? If the latter, lift your right foot and thread your left hand between your thighs. With both hands, catch hold of your right thigh or your right shin. Keep flexing your left foot and gently bring your right leg gradually closer to you. Keep splaying the left thigh open. Notice your breathing. Especially if discomfort arises, really rely on your breath to sustain you, to support your staying present, holding space, cultivating curiosity. Now, if your left calf is 1 to 3 inches in front of your chest, you could opt for supine single pigeon pose, where you cradle the sole of your left foot and your left knee between the crooks of your elbows, like you're carrying a baby, and straighten your right leg forward flat on the floor, continuing to splay open the left thigh. Now, this is only if your left knee is pointing directly at the left wall. It's not pointing towards your chest. And if so, draw your left outer hip forward towards your inner right foot. Lengthen the left side of your torso. All right, whatever version you're in, let's dive deep into 4 more slow breaths. And from here, straighten your 2 legs forward, raise your arms overhead, allow a long body stretch, maybe circle out your feet, anything that needs to move. Let's step the feet on the ground with knees bent. Start with one block, placing it wide across the width of your mat underneath the flat part of your lower back or sacrum. Notice how this feels. Opening up the fronts of the hips, stay here or place a second block to stack above the first. Feel free to keep both feet on the ground, hips distance apart, parallel to each other. Or get a deeper stretch in your hip flexors one by one by bending one knee towards your chest and holding the thigh or shin while you flex the opposite foot and slide the heel forward towards straightening that leg without turning the leg out. So keep the knee and toes pointing straight up towards the sky. If you're taking this version that I'm in, slowly step the lifted foot down and catch hold of the opposite thigh or shin. If available, flex the other foot and slide the heel forward on the ground towards whatever degree you can straighten the leg, keeping the knee and toes pointing straight up, not turning out the leg. You might notice that the closer you bring the lifted leg towards you, the deeper the sensation in the opposite hip flexor. Then set both feet on the ground again, knees bent. And just pause for a few deep breaths. Tilting your chin slightly back to keep your throat open, ground the backs of your shoulders and open up the collarbones. Widen your chest. Let's come into a few resonant breaths here, a mindful breathing technique for relaxing the nervous system. I'll invite you to expand specifically the left and right sides of your rib cage. You can even place your hands there if you like. As we breathe in for a slow count of 5, and as we breathe out through the nose for a slow count of 5, very gentle breaths. Let's try a few rounds together and a few on your own before letting go of controlling the breath. So prepare to begin by emptying this breath. Slowly inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5. Exhale 5. Try maybe 3 more cycles on your own, and if you can count to 6 or 7, feel free to extend it in both directions equally. Whenever you decide, feel free to let go of controlling the breath and just observe anything you feel as you breathe naturally. Start to remove the blocks from underneath your body slowly. As you gently lower your pelvis, hug your knees towards your armpits, either coming into happy baby pose or straightening one leg wide and then bending the opposite knee and switching, or straddling both legs straight apart as you ground your tailbone, shoulders, and head. Gather your knees together into your chest. Close your eyes, lifting your head and shoulders, squeeze in as you compress into a ball and allow a deep, deep inhalation to fill up your entire body in your mind's eye. Squeeze in tightly and hold the breath in. Maybe try to sip in a little more as you give yourself an embrace of gratitude. Then open the mouth and splay your legs and arms wide apart on the earth. Closing your eyes, entering corpse pose, Shavasana. With your eyes still closed, bring your awareness back to your physical body, sensing how your body feels nearing the end of your yoga practice. Now, our meditation practice for 5 minutes is going to be a mindful body scan as we practice curiosity with our own bodies. So you can decide if you'd rather stay lying down for this meditation or if you'd like to come up to sit. If the latter, be very gradual and gentle as you start to move your body into rising up, finding a comfortable way to sit. And as you've chosen your position to meditate in, make sure that your body is comfortable. And at the same time, you're in a position in which you can be present, be aware, alert. Now I invite you to begin by just feeling the parts of your body that are resting on a surface. You might begin with the lowest part of your body. If you're sitting, you might feel the weight of your legs on the ground or on a cushion. You might feel the different heaviness of different parts of your pelvis. Or if you're lying down, you might feel the shoulders, the backs of the shoulders resting on something, the skull resting on something. And from the bottom of the body, going upwards, feel the areas where other parts of your body might be resting on lower parts of your body, like you might be stacking palms on top of each other. You might be resting your arms on your torso or your lap. As you feel the weight of your body on top of itself and your body on top of a surface, allow yourself to feel even more and more grounded, connected to Mother Earth. Sensing the way you're being drawn towards the center of the earth. So from that place of groundedness, let's begin to scan our attention throughout your body, starting with your face. Though your eyes may be closed and you can't see your face from the outside, sense what your facial expression feels like from the inside. Can you feel the aliveness of the muscles surrounding your eyes or at your forehead? What do you notice about the energy of your mouth? Is there tension there? Does it feel very light and relaxed? Notice your tongue. So rather than analyzing what we're observing, I invite you to practice being in the sensations you're noticing. And let that sense of being in the sensations be itself the practice of curiosity. Letting your curiosity travel down to your throat and wrap all around the sides and back of your neck, back of your skull. Letting curiosity replace any need to judge what you're noticing as good, bad, right, or wrong. What feels alive in your shoulders, in your chest right now? Be in those sensations. Sense your shoulder blades and the space between them. Let your curiosity explore the sensations throughout your torso, taking your time, your upper belly, mid-abdomen, all the way down to the pit of your belly. Back of your spine, the sides of your waist. What's alive there right now? And for the last minute of our meditation, allow your curiosity to explore any other part of your body on your own. What are you noticing about your mind right now? How about your heart? As we bring our practice to a close, in what ways can you practice curiosity, especially when you start to notice the judgment mind arise in the way you're perceiving yourself or others? How can you use curiosity to open your heart rather than close it? You might join your palms in prayer as you acknowledge the effort you put into showing up today, thanking yourself, and anyone and anything that had to come together for you to enjoy the opportunity to practice yoga. Gratitude to the teachers that share their wisdom throughout the generations, including this author, Sharon Brous, my teachers of yoga, our daily teachers. And come back to the intention you set at the beginning of this practice. And remember to whom you dedicated this practice to. As we join our voices to close with 3 ohms, feel the way that we breathe together, sharing air with Mother Earth and each other. Letting the Om be a celebration of our oneness. Let in a deep breath. And bowing in towards your heart center, honoring the lights within. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.